We are in the Panhandle region of Florida. We are entering the Florida Caverns State Park. It's near a town called Marianna. It's famous for its limestone carvings.
So this is the Florida Caverns State Park. We are in Panhandle region of Florida. So this beautiful Spanish moss reminds us on the live oak trees that we are in Florida. We are in Florida. This is the upland region, the Panhandle part. We are going to see this Florida Caverns State Park. This park is one of the natural wonders where the geological process carved out from the limestone stalagmites and stalactites, and we are going to see them. So this is the entrance to the park.
Embedded within the limestone. Now, millions of years ago, we were covered by a warm, shallow sea, and as the sea creatures died, the shells and things of that nature were crushed into this mud-like substance, and as that mud hardened, it became this limestone. It's a sedimentary stone, and it's a very porous stone. So as the waters receded, it eroded the limestone, creating the caverns that we see. Much in the reverse method, water seeps into the limestone now, and as it drips from the ceiling, it leaves minerals behind that create all the formations that we'll see around us throughout the tour. Water, therefore, is the architect of these caverns, both creating the caverns and now giving back to the caverns in the form of the formations. Matter of fact, another indicator of what's under the sea, you see that? That's actually a fossilized sea urchin up in the ceiling right here, the body of a sea urchin. So that's actually another fossil, another indication that we were once under the sea. Now, as we're going through the tour, please, if you'd like to take pictures, feel free to do so. The only thing that we ask is that you not hold up the tour group in doing so. So as we go through, if you'd like to snap away pictures, go ahead, but we don't want to spend too much time trying to get those perfect photos. All right? This next room we're walking through, the room that we're in, yeah, it's about 55 feet.
I wish I bought my laser. Yeah, me too.
Nicknamed it the Christmas tree room. But this room is called the waterfall room because of these flowstone formations you see. These flowstones they thought looked a lot like waterfalls, so they dubbed this the waterfall room. This, by contrast to the last room was the largest room. This room is overall the lowest room of the cavern tour. So as you look around, don't forget to look up because you'll see in the domes a lot of indications of those shells and things of that nature that we mentioned. If you'd like to view the back side of the room, feel free to do so. And then make your way back to the center of the room because we'll move on from the center of the room as we continue our tour. You'll see a passage in the back of the room. Looks like a hole going into the ground, a cave within a cave, if you will. And that was actually dubbed Frankenstein's den in the original maps. It goes back about 100 feet dead end. There's no additional rooms back there. They didn't bother excavating. Here because of a process known as breakdown. Thousands of years ago, these rocks were up in the ceiling, and they broke away from the ceiling and landed on the ground. You can see it's been a long time because of the amount of formations that have grown on top of the rocks as well as from the ceiling. Look at this. It does look like bacon, doesn't it? That drapery. That's why they call it cave bacon, because sometimes it really does look that way. Now this room had a couple of nicknames. One of the nicknames is the Rainbow Room because of the colored lights. Another nickname is a Christmas Room, again because of those colored lights and this formation here. Looks a bit like a snowy Christmas tree. So they dubbed that the Christmas Room also. They are just nicknames of the room. Alright, if you'd like to follow me, we'll walk our way around the round room. Well actually, these domes that are up in the ceiling that you see from time to time, these domes are called solution domes. These domes are the beginning stages of what would eventually be a sinkhole if this was still a water-filled cave. as water comes through, if there was an eddy current that occurred here, it could have created a swirl eroding the limestone in an upward direction. If it got close enough to the surface, that surface could cave in, creating a sinkhole. So all these solution domes would be the beginning stages of sinkholes if this were still an aquatic cave. You have a question?
By the way, I've been to a mammoth site. There's a bunch of sinkholes there.
Yeah, I'm sure there are. The Mammoth Cave in Kentucky, you mean?
No, it was in Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
The mammoth sunk in the sinkholes.
Oh, the mammoth sunk in the sinkholes. I got you. I haven't been out there. I've never seen that. Now, please watch your head as we make our way around the corner.
Some of these are just part of the cave, not like formation. Why we should not touch it because we don't want to disturb. That's the reason.
Yes, we do not touch because touching alters it. If we were to touch the limestone, we apply our natural oils to the limestone. So we do not want to do that.
Even these rocks also we don't touch.
Even these rocks, because if water is dripping from the ceiling, formations could grow on these rocks. But by touching them, we can make it so they do not.
That makes sense.
Please make your way back into this room, and I'll meet you right in the center of this room. I'll wait for everybody to come around the room before I turn off the lights.
Sometimes even some people might have lived in this cave earlier days.
Like me.
Please watch the step on the public.
Like why it's not possible like this?
Well, the cavern wasn't even discovered until 19...
There's a puddle here.
Like the native people long back.
Right, but like I said, the cavern wasn't even discovered until 37. It was exposed by a tree that had toppled. Please, don't. Do not jump and try to touch any of the formations in the ceiling. If we see too much of that, we will ask you to leave the cavern. There's no touching of the formations.
Pretty. So dark here.
So there was a tree covering the entrance and it was removed and then some...
Yeah, the entrance where we came in was actually a sinkhole that they excavated for us to utilize as an entrance. The exit was just a small slope, and you wouldn't be able to breathe or... Anyway, so... All right, now, as you see in this room, we have a lot of formations here, but we don't have any formations here. But by looking at the floor, you can see the pitting on the floor, and it indicates that water has been dripping from the ceiling. The reason being, you need mineral content in order for formations to grow. As water seeps through the limestone, first it passes through the air and the decaying material on porous floor. In both instances, it's exposed to carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide mixes with the water, creates a very slight carbonic acid mixture in that water. As that water seeps through the limestone, that carbonic acid dissolves the limestone in the minerals embedded within it. When it drips from the ceiling, it leaves some of those minerals behind, creating the formations that you see. And then when it drips to the ground, the remaining minerals land on the ground, and that's how you get our ground-forming formations. Now, how many of us drink soda? I drink soda pop, carbonated beverages, things of that nature. Well, carbonated beverages also contain carbonic acid, but the carbonic acid in the soda is 150 times greater than the carbonic acid that's required to create these formations. Now, this room, the South America room. I'd like to show you why. If you'd like to follow me up this path, and we'll make our way back down the other side, we have a formation in the back of the room, and it's called a rimstone pool. Now, when they were mapping the cave, they thought this pool looked a lot like the continent of South America. So they dubbed this the South America room because of this rimstone pool. One of the neat features about that pool is that the rim is perfectly level. If you look at it at eye level, that rim is perfectly level all the way around. The reason being, this pool started off as a puddle of water. As the water ever so slowly rises and lowers, it leaves minerals behind again, and sediment. So since water holds that natural level, it leaves those minerals behind in that naturally level format, creating the rim of that pool. How do you like the temperature here in the cavern? Pretty comfortable?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's like this all year.
What's the temperature?
Right now it's about 63 degrees. Now the limestone acts as an insulator, so it holds the average. If you don't mind making your way back down the path there so people aren't having to try to walk around you. The limestone acts like an insulator, and it holds the average